Hello everyone, this is Dr. Achal Singh and I welcome you all in our course module of the services marketing. In our previous discourse, we have dealt with the concept of the 7 Ps, how the information technology is helping to contribute towards the growth of the services sector. Now, in today's discussion, we will be dealing out with the concept of the service marketing research. We know that before moving in for the concept, as we have already propounded and we have discussed the concept of the services marketing, we know that it is in a science and as art. It is already being written in the slide that it is all being related within a science and an art of exploring, creating and delivering value to satisfy the needs of the target audience and a profit. It pinpoints the prospective market segment that the service organization is capable of service best, and it designs and promotes the appropriate products and the services. Service marketing is in a form of marketing that focuses on the selling of the services. With services which are often intangible in nature, consumers must also be convinced through marketing that is something they want, they need and they want, that will have to be some sort of benefits. Now, this particular slides, it gives you the crux of the services marketing which we have already discussed, that the services are intangible benefits, the deeds and the associations which the firm and the service provider are trying to give and they are offering to the target audience in the terms of satisfaction of their needs and the wants. So, as they are intangible, definitely the marketers have to make more, they have to face more challenges in terms of crafting out their strategies, developing a procedural plans, so that their intangible aspect can be tangibilized with the help of some tangible clues. Now, this is the slide that this is all deals about the application of the marketing research in the service marketing arena. The application of the marketing research in the service marketing arena. So, what are the implications, what are the uses of the service marketing research, what are the uses of the marketing research in the service marketing arena? We have to just understand that the concept of marketing research, it is being related as being defined in the terms of vital tool for every business organization to find out the potential customers and to understand their needs and to develop out the products and the services to better satisfy out their needs. Some of the applications of the marketing research in the field of the service marketing includes understanding the potential customers, determining prices, identifying potential opportunities and the threats that are existing in the market area, determining customer satisfaction, developing new product, determining the improvements which is being needed in the market area for a particular product, analyzing the consumer behavior, analyzing the competition that is prevailing in the market area, determining the method of selling that is required for a particular product. Now, this slide says that the tool of marketing research, it is very vital for every marketer, because it is such a tool which is being used by the business organization for the purpose of identifying, exploring the needs and the wants of the people at large. Because we know that every business organization, they are facing out the scarce resources. So, if the resources are scarce for every business organization, and even if for not only for the business organization, the resources are scarce and they are limited in nature for the economy at large also. So, if you are talking of from the perspective of the micro sense, even then in the micro sense also the resources are scarce and they are put into alternative reuses, and the macro sense also the resources which are defined in the sense of 6 Ps, that is men, machine, material, money, method, market, they are scarce in nature. So, it is very important duty of every marketer, whether the marketer is being engaged in the manufacturing of the goods or the marketer is channelizing you certain kind of intangible benefits, deeds and association, they have to just ensure that these scarce and the limited resources has to be utilized, they has to be mobilized and allocated in the best possible way. So, for this we have to ensure that we have to undergo certain kind of research process, and that is what is being talked of as a marketing research, because by using and by deploying out the tools and the techniques of the marketing research, we will be better as a marketer and a producer, will be better being able to identify out our target market area, will be better to identify out our target customers, will be in a position craft and to develop out our strategies in a better being defined way. We will be in a position to reach out our audience in a better defined way, because the customers are changing, their behavioral are changing, the competition is also getting increased, the method and the strategies and the procedures that we are using for the purpose of reaching out to our target audience should be more being defined in a better way, and then only we will be in a position to achieve out the benefits of the competitive advantage. So, the very first point it is says that we have to understand out of our potential customers. Now, as a service provider, as in a firm or as an organization, we have to ensure that we have to understand and we have to identify and explore that who are the people who are there in the marketing environment, who are there in the environment, who will be termed as a customer for them. Because there are certain kind of individuals who are moving in for the purchase decision, but they are not moving in for the purchase decision to satisfy out their end needs. So, for the marketers it is very important to identify and to differentiate that who are the people who are the customers for them and who are the individuals who are really their end users, because end users are being defined in the perspective of the consumers, because these are the individuals who are moving in for the purchase decision for the satisfaction of their end use. So, understanding and differentiating about the potential customers, about the individuals who are present customers or the individuals who are the present consumers is very much being needed by each and every business firm. Potential customers also speaks of the fact that here the firm has to identify, they have to differentiate, they have to explore about the customers who are not using out their product at present point of time, but in the future course of action they may be turning out as their consumers or they may be turning out as their customers, because there are different kind of alternative options which are there available in the market area, and for them our product, they are not using our product, but they are for the purpose of satisfaction of their needs and the wants, they are trying to go in for the usage and the consumption of the other alternative brands which are there available in the market. So, understanding and having out development of the conception of the potential customers is very much being needed enough. Now, the second point is being related to the prices, that is prices. We know that price is the only revenue which is in the hand of the marketers for the purpose of generating revenue. Now, from the perspective of the marketers or the manufacturers, prices are generating revenue. But from the perspective of the customers and the consumers, price is such a factor which is incurring cost, because the customers are paying prices in terms of the monetary sacrifices, and in lieu of that monetary sacrifices they are getting certain reward, and that reward is being talked of in the sense of the benefits, the utilities, the functional benefits, the psychological status, the psychological value, the psychological satisfaction, the intangible experiences, the memorable cherished experiences, the moments that they are enjoying, and in lieu of that they are paying out the sacrifices, which is what is being talked of as a cost for them. Now, apart from the monetary sacrifices, they are also incurring certain kind of psychological cost, the time cost, the effort that they are undergoing in for the purchase process, because we know that the purchase process is not on a one kind of way, it is not a one stop solution, but the purchase process is such a process, it is a sequential activities in which the customers are going in for the different kind of sequential steps, and these sequential steps are being said to talk of in the terms of need recognition, the information search, the alternatives which are there available in the market, the consumption process, and the post purchase behavior. So, the customers and the consumers, firstly they have to recognize out the needs, and after the recognition of the needs they are trying to evaluate out the different alternatives brands which are there available in the market area. After evaluation they are trying to measure out the effectiveness of the brands in, from the perspective of the want satisfying potential, and they are trying to analyze and gauge out the utility of the product from the perspective of the monetary sacrifices that they are undergoing in for the purchase process. So, after evaluation of the brand, the prices, the quality and the cost, they are moving in for the purchase decision. And after the purchase, if the customers are delighted, definitely they will be feeling out of they are having a feeling of delightment that will be helping the customers to develop out the loyalty against that particular brand or the offering. And suppose in contrary to it, if the customers have or the consumers have not gotten a feeling of satisfaction, that will result into the dissonance. So it is very imperative for the marketers to not to face this particular situation, that is the situation of the cognitive dissonance, because dissonance is all being related within a frustration, it is all being related within a dissatisfaction. So very importantly, here we can say that the producers and the marketers have to ensure that this particular situation should not be faced by the customers, by the consumers, because that will lead towards tarnishing the image of the offerings of the brands that they are trying to create and dispose on the market area. So definitely the prices is one of the factor that has to be taken into consideration by the producers, because this is a very sensitive factor to talk of. As I have already said, that it is having a capability to generate revenue for the enterprise, but from the customer's point of view, it is one of the cost that is very important element, and the customers are trying to evaluate out that cost, and they are trying to evaluate out the cost and the quality before moving for the purchase decision of their product. Now, the third factor, that is the application of the marketing research. In the from the perspective of the application of the marketing research, we know that in case of the marketing research, we are making out the third component, we are trying to define out the third component, which talks about the identification of the opportunities and the threats in the market area. We know that every business environment, it is composed of certain kind of variables which are controllable in nature, and there are certain variables over whom we are not having any kind of influence over it. So we can categorize those variables into two of the forms, that is, either we can have a controllable variable, or either we are also facing certain kind of uncontrollable variables. So controllable variables, they are also being defined synonymously in the form of the internal variables, in the form of the micro variables, and contrary to it, the uncontrollable variables also being said to define in terms of the external variables, the uncontrollable variables, or the macro variables. So identification of the opportunities and the threats, it is very much being needed by a marketer, whether the marketer is manufacturing the tangible commodities or whether the manufacturer is being engaged in the offering of the services. They have to explore and identify out the intangible elements, they have to explore out the they have to explore and they have to identify out these kind of variables which are internal in nature, and they are giving out the strength factor for them, or they may be terming out as a weakness for them also at certain point of time. And those variables which are uncontrollable in nature, over whom we are not having any kind of influence over it, over whom we cannot change their functionality, but the thing is that we can make a prediction, we can make an analysis so as to mitigate out the negative consequences of the happening of those external variables. So the producers have to just ensure that which are the variables, they have to make out clear, they have to clearly distinct out that which are the variables which are terming out as a strength factor for them, and they will be classified as an internal variable, and which are the factors that are terming out as an opportunities for them, or they are being termed as a threat at certain point of time, and they will be classified in the form of the external variables. Now for the purpose of sensing out and for the purpose of differentiating out the internal and the external variables, the manufacturers and the producers, they are undergoing out the strategy of the SWOT analysis, that is the strength and weaknesses, opportunities and the threats. Now SWOT analysis, it is an acronym of the SWOT. S stands for strength, W stands for weaknesses, O stands for opportunities, and T stands for the threats. Weaknesses, they are the internal variables of any business organization, and the opportunities and the threats, conversely to it, they are the external variables over whom we are not having any control, but the thing is that we can be able to mitigate out the negative consequences of that particular variables which are hovering on the marketing environment. So by using and by applying out the tools and the techniques of the marketing research, we as a producer, we as a marketer will be better be able to understand out the influences, the operating procedures of these kind of variables which are there in the environment. Now the next point is being talked of in the sense of the customer satisfaction. We know that each and every effort, each and every procedural plan, each and every policies that we are drafting it is all being related in consonance, in alignment with meeting out the expectations of the customers. So, already we have said that the customers and the consumers, they are playing a very important role, they are being treated as a kingpin, and our effort is all being talked of, it is all being related towards meeting out the satisfactions, towards meeting out the expectations of the target audience. Many a times we are saying that it is not only the case wherein we have to meet out the expectations and the needs and the aspirations of our target audience, but as a dutiful, as a versatile marketer, we have to ensure that our offerings or our goods and the services should be having a capability towards providing better satisfaction to the society at large, to the masses. So, determining of the customer satisfaction is also one of the point that is being more being defined, well being defined with the uses of the marketing research. Developing a new product, it is also being said that until unless we are creative, we will not be able to innovate certain new kind of thing. And for the purpose of survival in this competitive scenario, we have to develop out a new product, and that newness, earlier also we have said that newness can be understood with the proposition of development of a new style change, with the proposition of the frequent uses of the product, with the exploration of the newer market area, with the coming of a newer frequent use of the same core offering, because we know that the product is not only being defined in the sense of a core benefit or the core utility that we are deriving from a purchase of a particular product, but it is not the case. We are having the different levels, we are having the different kind of satisfaction, we are having a different kind of improvisation in that particular kind of core aspect, and this is being talked of in the sense of core product. Not only the core product, we are having the generic product, we are having a expected product, we are having an augmented product, and the last level of the product is all being related within a potential product. So, as a marketer, as a pre-user, we have to develop out the new users, the different frequency, the frequent users, the exploration of the new market area of our offerings that we are trying to dispose of in the market area. The next is determining the improvement of the marketing, that is of the market which is needing in a particular product. This is all being said that we have to explore out the divergent use, we have to explore out the divergent area in the market area, in the marketplace or in the market space. Then only we as a producer will be able to expand out our customer footfalls, we as a producer will be able to occupy a better marketplace. Now, the next point is, it talks about the competition level, and we know that we are surviving and we are living in the competitive scenario wherein the feature of the monopolistic competitive condition is more being realized, it is more being pronounced. So, for a marketer, it is a challenging aspect to foresee, to predict out the competitive element, and it is very indispensable for them to understand, to foresee and to forecast the competitive element that is prevailing, and crafting and developing out their strategies in the same terms, the same line of action. Now, competition, we have said that either we can adopt the strategy which is in consonance with the competitors, or whether we can develop and we can create a strategy which is getting the shape of the counter strategy or a defensive strategy from the competitors. These kind of strategies, whether to counteract, whether to adopt a defensive strategy, or whether adopting a strategy to be at par with the competitors, is also needed, and is also very much being pronounced if we are applying out the concepts of the marketing research. Now, why there is a need to understand out the competition? Yes, there is a very important need, because we as a business organization, all our efforts are being created, they are being drafted for the purpose of meeting out the needs of their target audience. And if we as a marketer, we as a pre-user, we are not being able to better satisfy out the needs and the expectations and the aspirations of our target audience, will not be able to better survive and to outgrow and to outbeat out the strategies of the competitors. So, what are the strategies, the procedural plans which the competitors and the rivals are giving to you, they are throwing in their own way, that has to be analyzed, that has to be understood, and in lieu of that, we have to counteract their strategies in terms of the defensive way. The last point, it says that the marketing research is also one of the tool for the purpose of determining out the selling required for a particular product, the mode of selling, the quantum of sales volume, the magnitude of the sales turnover that you are expecting from the your offering has to be explored, that has to be studied and has to be understood as a producer, because on the basis of the sales volume or the sales turnover, your growth potentiality will be it will be judged upon. The way how you are growing up, the potentiality you are having up in the your drafting of the procedural plans, the potentiality which you are having out in terms of the operational variability, in terms of the operational resources, in terms of the managerial skill, the technical skill that you are holding on your organization structure, that is all being pronounced more, that is all being pronounced more in terms of the sales turnover that you are trying to achieve upon. We have already said that every business organization, they are having certain kind of values to fulfill, they are having certain kind of mission to fulfill, they are having certain kind of objectives and the goals to fulfill upon. Mission and the vision are, firstly it is being defined, and within the parameters of the vision and the mission, our corporate objectives are being defined, and on the basis of the corporate objectives we are deriving out our sub objectives. So whatever quantum and the magnitude of the sales turnover or the sales volume that we are expecting, or the target rate of return that we are expecting from our investment has to be foreseen, has to be understood with the use of the marketing research. Then only the marketers or the producers will be better in a position to craft out their strategies in a better way. So this is the application, this slide speaks of the application of the uses of the marketing research for the service marketing arena. Now moving out within another slide, this slide gives you the crux of the overview of the marketing research, and for the purpose of better understanding, I have taken one of the definition that is being defined by Philip Kotler, Professor Philip Kotler and Professor Lane and Keller. They says that the marketing research as in a systematic design, collection, analysis and reporting of the data and the findings that are relevant to the specific marketing situation that a company is facing. Now, if you deduce the definition that Philip Kotler and Lane Keller has given, the definition of Philip Kotler and Lane Keller, they are proposing that marketing research is a systematic design, collection, analysis and the reporting of the data and the findings which are relevant to a specific marketing situation which the company is facing. The marketing research, it all deals about the collection of the data, how the data will be collected. Either we can have a primary source to talk of, either we can move in for the secondary source. That particular data collection, how it will be designed, the analysis part, the exploration part, the identification part, the evaluation part. After evaluation, after analysis, after evaluation, how you as a marketer or how you as a business organization or how you as a manager working in any of the capacity, working in the capacity of the finance manager, working in the capacity of the HR manager or R&D development manager, or especially we are limiting our discussion towards the field of the marketing manager. So here the marketing manager has to take into consideration that whatever data that they are exploring, that they are trying to explore, they are trying to extract from the market area, they may be terming out to get the shape of the primary data, or they may be relying on the data of the secondary one. So if you are having a primary data or you are having a primary data or you are having a secondary data, you have to ensure that which is better to use upon for the purpose of making out a better analysis, for the purpose of evaluating out your findings, for the purpose of concluding out your findings, for the purpose of reporting out your plans and meeting out those reportings, meeting out those analysis for the sake of fulfillment of your objectives that you want to pursue upon, that you want to accomplish upon. So Philip Kotler and Lane Keller, they are saying that the marketing research is all being related within a systematic design, the collection, the analysis and the reporting of the data and the findings that are very much being relevant for a business organization which are operating in this environment, which is operating in this dynamic environment. So as in a business organization, either you can be having out an objective to for the purpose of you may be having an objective for the survival, you may be having an objective to act as a dominant leader, you may be having a vision to outgrow yourselves and to act as a dominant leader. Different kind of objectives may be pursued by every business organization. So, whatever the objectives, what are the vision and the mission that you are holding out in your corporate object, in your organizational structure, that has to be understood, and in consonance with that objectives and the goal fulfillment, your procedural plans, your marketing research will be defined. Here they have said that our marketing research basically it confines towards meeting out the needs and the expectations, aspirations of your target audience in a better defined way. Now, the slides also says that in order to understand the needs of the buyer and his or her behavior, we have a tool called marketing research. It generates information for the decision makers to design a suitable service, to further develop it, to price it properly, to promote it effectively, and to distribute it for the convenience of the buyers. It helps the decision makers to understand, to explain, to describe, and to evaluate out the marketing program. Now, this particular statement, that is understanding the needs of the buyers, his or behavior, we have to gotten a tool that is being said as a marketing research, generating information for the decision makers to design a suitable service, to further develop it, price it properly, effectively promote it, distribute it for the convenience of the buyers, and all this work, all these plans, all these procedural formulations will be helping the decision makers to better understand, to explain and describe their evaluation of the marketing programs. Now, if we deduce this particular statement, the statement which says that marketing research is all being related with the crafting of the 7 ingredients in the arena of the service marketing mix. We know 7 ingredients in the arena of the service marketing decisional area. Now, we have already talked of the fact that in case of the services marketing, we are having 7, we are being concerned with the 7 ingredients, and these ingredients are coming to take the shape of the 7 components, and these 7 components are being defined in the way of right product, right place, right promotion mix, right people, the process, and the physical evidence that you are using over. So, these 7 mixes are very important. They are playing a very important role in the case of the service marketing decisional areas, because these are the components or the ingredients which the marketers are trying to use, they are trying to encapsulate upon in their marketing program, in their marketing procedural plans and the policies, so that they are better being able to understand out their needs and the wants of their target audience, because all our efforts are being needed, they are being created for the purpose of identification and for the purpose of making the customers aware, for the purpose of motivating and persuading out the customers to move in for their purchase decision. So, all these 7 ingredients which are being used by the service marketers, and they are being defined in terms of the 7 P's, they are better being more pronounced, they are better being more designed, they are better being more formulated and implemented and evaluated also if the tools and the techniques of the marketing research are being used. So, this is the concept of the marketing research. Now, in today's discussion, we have dealt with the concept of the services marketing. We have also dealt with the application of the marketing research in the arena of the service marketing area. How the marketing research are helping out the producers or the manufacturers to better craft out their strategies in terms of their 7 P's and to better understand out their target audience. That is all we have discussed in today's discussion. Hope you have understood and you have enjoyed the lecture. In the next discourse, in the next discussion, we will be further elaborating the concept of the marketing research. Till then, stay safe and stay blessed. Thank you all.